Given the opportunity, I will get even with some people that were disloyal to me.
He perceives you as an opposition force within the Republican Party.
Of anybody I've ever met, he's probably the most spiteful, vengeful person I've ever met.
Are you concerned about a consolidation of power around him within your party?
Well, I'm concerned about a consolidation of power around anybody in the federal government. You know, the way our Constitution was designed is to prevent power from being consolidated.
But he thinks he's going to influence your voters in this primary election.
I'm sure he will influence some of them. The question is, are there enough of them versus enough what I believe to be more reasonable folks who recognize that Donald Trump made a huge mistake that day.
Just because you haven't heard from him lately, it doesn't mean Trump isn't working behind the scenes. While DeSantis bans math books and Tucker Carlson is tanning his testicles, to feel down, I said, young man. Trump and his followers are planning revenge. The working title is Dark MAGA, a rebranding of the Make America Great movement. Trump supporters are promoting an even more ruthless version of Trump to reemerge and carry out revenge against his political enemies on both the left and the right. Newsweek describes Dark MAGA as a post-alt-right aesthetic promoting an authoritarian version of Trump in a dystopian, Terminator-like image.
I'll be back.
Dark MAGA is trying to unify the Trumpers and the QAnon fringe elements.
Q is someone very close to President Trump.
Behind this Napoleonic image of Trump coming back as a vengeful leader, having been deposed and now removing all the kindness and mercy from his heart. The January 6th investigation has shown that everyone from Mark Meadows to the Oath Keepers were complicit.
Text messages and emails that former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows turned over to the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection reveal what former President Trump was and was not doing during the Capitol attack.
And now they've learned their lesson. No more texting, no more note-taking, no more phone calls. Dark MAGA is working behind the scenes against Republicans like Cheney, Kinzinger, Murkowski, Romney, and Tom Rice. But that's just the beginning. Through groups like Libs of TikTok, they're attacking LGBTQ.
Once you see what these people are saying, they discredit themselves and horrify normal people.
And using these videos to enact anti-gay and anti-trans legislation in states like Florida, and violent anti-abortion legislation that would demand the death penalty for doctors and even women seeking any and all gynecological advice or assistance. Dark MAGA is working behind the scenes to create legislation to overthrow 2022 and 2024 elections, should a Democrat win, and impediments such as voter intimidation and deleting people of color from the rolls to make sure that never happens. The Dark MAGA hashtag, created back in January, hasn't been officially endorsed by Trump, and it never will be. But there are thousands of tweets like this. If you want to win, if you don't want a repeat of the past, you have to get mean, embrace the role they're bringing to you. As Michael Cohen testified, Trump speaks like a mob boss with euphemisms like, you know what to do, you know what has to be done. Even the January 6th investigation seems unlikely to end up with a Trump indictment since he never actually said the words.
Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore.
Dark MAGA is a storm brewing, and the violent rhetoric is aimed at every American. January 6th was an attack on our democracy that failed, but barely. Every Republican from Mark Meadows to Lindsey Graham backtracked from their criticism of Trump and the throng of terrorists attacking the Capitol because they were afraid of their own people. The Republican Party used to be the party of Lincoln, then the party of Reagan. Today, though, it's the party of darkness, terrorizing the weak and promoting violence against anyone who opposes them.
They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks.
Shine a light on Dark MAGA at your own risk.